The nurse is absolutely Dead by Daylight's most powerful killer, and has been for many years. Fun fact, dear viewer, I started playing DBD because I had a massive crush on a girl. And when I started playing, this killer was the most obnoxious thing to play against. Back then, she had this crazy ability to teleport at will, which allowed her to bypass obstacles and left survivors with no counterplay. However, all these years later, well, I still have a crush on that same girl, and more importantly, the nurse still doesn't have any counterplay. Over the years, all of these killers have received some kind of nerf, however slight in some way, and yet the nurse hasn't even come close to being knocked off the top spot. The more things change, dear viewer, the more they stay the same. So today, I'm going to talk about a rework concept that hopes to make playing against the nurse even remotely tolerable. Quick preface, as usual. The fact that I'm reading this script while absolutely trolleyed, and that the video was uploaded on April 1st should give you no indication as to the tone of this video. I want you all to take this very seriously. Obviously. Also, I'm doing all of this with first takes. If I go off script or cock something up, I'm sticking with it. But that's enough of that. Let's get started. So, this concept has a bunch of changes that'll make the nurse play differently. First, we're going to double the blink count to 4 blinks. This will make the nurse easier for newer players. Accessibility... oh my god. Accessibility is literally the only thing that holds this killer back, so let's make it easier for newer players to get into the art of ruining matches. Next, we're going to give her aura reading on all survivors within 20 meters of her position at all times. That'll mean her performance is going to be consistently useful, regardless of the map. A little tangent here, dear viewer, but of the many hundreds of DBD matches I've played, few stand out to me as much as the one that I played on Leary's a few years back. So, I'd convinced a mate to play some DBD with me. We load in on Leary's and both groan. But then I say, you watch, it'll be a nurse. And within seconds, we heard the go next siren in the distance and start laughing maniacally. Anyway, this nurse only got a single hook the entire match and was a little annoyed by the end of it. And in the endgame chat, we witnessed a spectacle, dear viewer. This nurse player was ranting about how Leary's should be disabled for nurse players, cause it completely counters their ability and they're left feeling helpless. At the time, I didn't say anything, but it did strike me, dear viewer, as rather hilarious. Apparently, this nurse player was oblivious to the fact that feeling of pointlessness is what they put survivors through every other time they play as the nurse. But no more, I say. If that nurse player happens to be watching this video, I've heard your cries. With this aura reading built in, anyone could catch any survivor at any time, regardless of the map. You're most welcome. Another one. We're going to give the nurse a 5th perk slot. The funny thing is, on any other killer, this would be monumental. Why did I write this script with so many long words? But on the nurse, it actually wouldn't do much of anything. She doesn't have counterplay, so this would... I don't know. Would the 5th perk slot even be more obnoxious? I don't think so. So let's do it. 5 slow down nurse. Why not? She had 5 blinks at one point. We're just taking the number 5 and being more ambitious with it. And the last change, I'm proud of this one, is the best way to deal with the go next mentality. Let's just make it base kit. So, if a nurse puts a survivor into the dying state with the blink, that survivor dies immediately. They will have passed on. They will be no more. They will have ceased to be. They will have expired and gone to meet their maker. However, if a nurse misses 3 special attacks in a row, they'll be forced to DC, and end the match early, with double disconnect penalties. Given that all the other changes make her more powerful, missing 3 hits in a row is embarrassing, and forcing a DC would actually be good for everyone involved. At this point, I think it's fair to say that the nurse is probably never going to have meaningful counterplay. It's been 8 years, and there's no hope in sight. So, with this rework, I've gone for the next best thing. These changes would make the matches against the nurse much shorter, which is as good as it's ever going to get, if we're being honest. Now, Cameron, I hear you cry, I don't know what you were on when you made this concept, but I want some. I'm afraid, dear viewer, that this unbridled genius isn't on sale, though you can buy booze pretty easily. So now we're going to talk about add-ons. With such impactful changes and incredible ideas in this concept, it'd be tragic to not include an add-on pass as well, wouldn't it? So let's talk about the 4 add-ons, because that's all she needs. The first one is the shitty internet connection. This one increases the lunge distance of the nurse after she blinks by 400%, so it can feel like you're playing as or against someone with a terrible ping, because we all love that. The next one is the Vial of Gamer Sweat. This is a simple quality of life add-on that automatically types GGEZ in the endgame chat, so you don't have to. Let's be real, if you're playing Nurse, this is just the icing on the cake of terrible gameplay. After that, we have the space beneath the bottom of the barrel. My metaphors are on point. This one's a new wave meme add-on that doubles the number of blinks the Nurse has. But if you miss even a single attack, you get DC'd immediately. And let's be real though, if you miss an 8 blink attack, you were gonna DC anyway. Finally is the anti-gen rush button. It's exactly what it sounds like. If you hit a survivor with a special attack, you reset all generator progress, even if a generator has been completed. This add-on, well, it's nothing if not unique. Overall, I think I've outdone myself with this add-on pass. These add-ons wouldn't be balanced or healthy in the slightest, but that's on brand for Nurse. Now, I'm really drunk, so I'm gonna sleep this off. Or drink even more. I don't know which yet. If you've sat through this entire video, thank you. Or sorry, whichever you think is more appropriate. I hope to see you in the next one, dear viewer, when I'll probably be sober.